Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Cable and Wire episode 2. And in today's video, we'll be covering two companies. One is Havells and the other one is RR Cables. Okay? So Havells, if you look at it, right, it is like a big daddy of your entire cable and wire space. It is similar to like how Titan is in the jewelry space, or how HUL is in the FMCG space, or how Britannia is in your bakery space. Okay, so similarly, Havells is like a big daddy over here in the cable and wire space. Okay, so one of the reasons, the hindrance for growth over here for Havells is its big size. जब आपका market cap इतना 95,000 crore है, how can you expect to, you can imagine how hard it is to get 25% का growth over here, right? So here it is a good example कि like an ant can always run faster than an elephant. Okay, so let's talk about इसका अगर आप segment देखते हो, they have like if you look at Havells, they have the wire and cable, which obviously is the most contributing to the top line. Then we have the switches, we have the lights, we have the FMEG goods. And Inca over the years, right, they are trying to give equal importance to this entire FMEG division, to the switches division and everything, similar to the cable and wire division. In fact, I think, when we think about Havells, the first two things we think are, the switches, because they've done so much advertising regarding that, and, the cable and wire. I do not know if y'all are from my generation, but when I was young, TV was the big thing, right? Now it's all Netflix and Prime. And during when we used to watch TV, we used to get this ad, like wires that don't catch fire. It was a great tagline. It was like, I don't know if y'all remember that ad. So anyways, coming back to the numbers over here, right? If you look at over here, the sales यहाँ पे, if you look at Havells, it grew by 11%, and PAT, that is it hardly grew by 5%. अगर आप इसका EBITDA margin देखते हो, EBITDA margin is at 8.8 versus 9.8 in the last quarter, last Q3. Okay, so if you look over here, obviously you'll see that operating leverage नहीं मिला, margins भी squeeze हो चुका है, and the reason is similar to what it was in with the other two companies such as Polycab and KI, that is copper का price fluctuation. Now for Havells also, if you look at it, the topmost contribution is from wire and cable, and wire and cable का वो division that is there, the volumes over here, the cables grew यहाँ पे 7.3%. ठीक है, so overall I would say ठीक है, I mean 7.3 is not bad considering the kind of base that you have. Okay, and the other divisions, that is the switches, has done well for them this time. Lights and luminaries also, where we used to see a lot of price cut या price erosion. So in this entire light का division में क्या हुआ था, there used to be a lot of this cheap lights coming from China. That is one problem. The second thing is यहाँ पे इतना, because see, when you are putting a light in your house, when you are putting a bulb in your house, you don't care कौन सा brand you're using. You care कि like कौन सा सस्ता है and which is the best efficiency you can give, right? Which can help you save electricity more. ठीक है? So now what happened is everybody is having same quality only. It's not like one is having superior quality than the other. But where they started to play the war over here, if let's say player A is selling at 50 rupees, player B will come and will sell you the same product at 45. Player C will come and sell you the same product at 40. So even though you are of a reputed brand, you have a great brand power, because there is so much price cut, because there is so much price erosion over here, you were forced to give discount. Okay, so this was a common cause with the entire light and illuminary division, not just for the organized space but even unorganized space. So there was competition, intense competition, and finally we see this price erosion is not as bad. I mean, it is still there, but it is at least not as bad as what it used to be a year or a couple of years ago. Okay, so all of this, including, like, I would say one of the reasons they were able to stick up to 11% in spite of such volatile copper ka prices, such volatile condition in the cable and wire space, is because the other segments also performed relatively better than what they usually do. Like switches performed better, lights performed better, FMEG goods such as your heaters, your fans, they also experienced a little bit better sales. And यहाँ पे, since it is Diwali season, they didn't do a lot of advertising spend also, so overall it was good for them. The other is also उनका एक Lloyd है, through which they sell ACs. They acquired the company long back, and even the Lloyd AC also, it grew by around 25% on a year-on-year basis. So ACs also has done pretty well for them, than what it used to. ठीक है, so overall good set of numbers. But having said that, यही है उनका problem, यही है base इतना बड़ा है, इस base में, इस PE में, इस growth rate में, it becomes very very difficult for you, to be lucrative for the shareholders. The other thing is now their focus is not more more on the like their focus is not as much as in the cable and wire space as it used to be earlier. Now the focus is mostly on being the best consumer durable play. So they're getting into ACs, they're getting into various FMEG goods. Now they're going to get into refrigerator also. They've started a new plant, new plant kahan pe? In Rajasthan they've started, okay, and they've spent around 480 crores. So they will now start doing refrigerators also. So the focus more and more day by day is to be a complete consumer durable company, try to give all the products than just be a mere wire and cable company. Okay. Now the other company that we will do, the fourth company, second in this video, is RR Cable Limited. Now when you talk about the entire wire and cable space, I would say especially in the first four that we did, right? Polycab, KEI, Havells. This, out of these four, the worst or the least interesting player is RR Cable. Literally the least interesting player. Okay. So पहला बात है इनका sales, that is it. Sales grew hardly 11% and PAT is down by 3.3. Now think about this. Havells का market cap is 95,000 crore. ठीक है. RR केबल का मार्केट कैप कितना है? अराउंड 13,000 करोड़. ठीक है. So you are Havells is literally like 7x of yours, like 6 to 7x of your market cap, and that giant, that elephant is growing at 11%, and you are like a deer over here, okay, and you are also growing at the same rate. Can you imagine over here? Like your base should actually be your strength, but having said that, you are growing as the same rate at the largest player in this space. On top of that, that player is able to maintain at least some sort of profitability, and आपका profitability पूरा सत्यानाश हो गया है यहाँ पे, right? So that is also another reason, because यहाँ पे if you look at RR Cable, one of the disadvantages for them is their business model itself, because if you look at all the players, the export portion comes between 6 to 10%, but if you look at RR Cable का export is 27 to 30%, and the rest 70% is domestic player. So this is the reason, one of the reasons why the profitability over here has more impact compared to the other also. Similarly उनका FMEG division जो है, FMEG contributes around 13%, and the rest 88% is your cable and wire division. And इनका ये FMEG division that is there, where they make all this fan and light and everything, it is still a loss making division, right? So both of this, first of all, cable and wire में इतना कुछ problem चल रहा है, export में इतना कुछ problem चल रहा है, right? Because export में, if you look at it, right, the freight cost is extremely high. There has been a lot of currency fluctuation because INR is depreciating constantly against all currencies, right? If you look at it against USD, against Euro, against certain African currencies also, there is a lot of this depreciation that is happening. As a result, what is happening? इनका सारा जगह में इन्होंने धक्का खाया. One is cable and wire का copper prices में, export में problem, currency में problem, and on top of that, FMEG का division is still a loss-making division, right? So all four of this hit them simultaneously, ठीक है? And as a result, what happened यहाँ पे? This not just the sales did grow at a faster rate, but also at the same time, you see the profitability has been very severe. The impact over here has been severe. Income margin also, if you see, margin is at EBITDA margin is at 7.2. It was 5.4 last Q3. So over here, the most important division, that is a wire and cable, because wire and cable से कितना आता है आपका? 87% of the revenue comes from there. यहाँ पे the volume growth is down by 2.4%. KEI has a double-digit volume growth. Polycab has a double-digit volume growth. Havells, which is a big player, had 7.6%, 7.8% का cables grew. यहाँ पे the volume growth de-grew by 2.4%. So now you understand why I told you this is the least interesting player. Not just that, इनका अगर आप guidance देखते हो, last time they told कि like पूरा wire and cable का ये जो है volume growth for the full year will be 15%. That is what they told. Now they're telling, last time they told, they came and revised the guidance कि like the volume growth will be 10 to 12%. Because of this export में इतना कुछ problem चल रहा है, freight cost is getting expensive, we are not able to find the shipping or the container, so we are revising the guidance to 10 to 12%. As of 9 months, the volume growth 9 month over 9 month has been 6%. So they really need to pull their socks up, in Q4 to achieve that. Already they had revised their guidance. Even that becomes a question mark. Will they be able to do it or not? In the full year. So that becomes a big, again, it becomes a very big question mark. ठीक है. इनका भी वही है, capex कर रहा है. But having said that, what capex when your growth rate is come down, when you're not even matching up to the growth rate to the top player, right? To the biggest player in the space, Havells. आप guidance revise कर रहे हो. Guidance revision के बाद शायद आपका, you probably will not be able to meet that guidance. Probably there is a huge probability, like I told you, 6% volume growth किया है for the 9 months. So very tough to to do that 12% again, for the full year when you hardly have one quarter. And Q4, you never know how it will go, because we already have this copper ka fluctuation. God knows when it will be all right. So that is the thing. Now let us rank again all the players, right? We have KEI, we have Polycab, we have कौन सा था वो Havells, and then we have RR Cable. What did we see with Polycab 1? The growth rate has come down. It has come down from 30 to 20%, and even with the guidance that they have given according to the Project Spring, it looks like the growth rate would be again between 18 to 20%. ठीक है. And on the other hand, KI का क्या हुआ? It was a 15 to 18% का growth rate, and that has moved up to 20% का growth rate, and they're maintaining the guidance very strong. So I would put KI on number 1, followed by Polycab, followed by Havells, because Havells is grown by 11%, and obviously Havells ka base is bigger, and the fourth player would be over here RR Cables, right? So I hope you could connect all the things that we spoke in the video in episode 1 of this wire and cable space and episode 2 of wire and cable space, and you understand why the ranking is KI, Polycab, Havells and RR Cables. Okay? And so I hope you all understand this. Then we will do Dynamic, Delton, Paramount and Quartz Cable, and we will see how this position gets changed because of this small players that are there, that is growing at a way higher or a fast pace. Okay, so over here if you look at it, again just a final thing over here, the entire thing, how to look at it in terms of race. How do you connect sales with operating leverage? How do you connect sales with ROE? How do you connect sales with guidance? How do you connect sales with cash flows? How do you connect sales with receivables, sales with payables? Each and every single of this item has been mentioned in the investment checklist workshop, right? And if you look at the investment checklist workshop, it has been told in the most easiest language you can ever understand. You could be a student or you could be a finance professional over here. It is for anybody and everybody who wants to understand the market in the most logical manner and how to apply it. If once you go through the investment checklist workshop, you can open any PPT and con call, you will be able to connect the dots and apply it in a practical way in the market. Okay, so I'm going to link the course ka link, the registration link in the description box, and in the pinned comment it will be there. Have a look at it and you will definitely not regret it. I'll meet you for part 3 of the video, where we will discuss Dynamic and Delton Cable, and we will redo the race, may who stands first, who stands second and third. Okay, that's that for today guys. Take care.